Happy Friday, Youth Developer. I'm so excited to have Val Duval in here at the Youth Developer because I know this man, or here, wherever that I'm pointing, since way back at the beginning of my whole after school, basically, life. So, Val, welcome to the Youth Developer.
Thank you, Patty. It is a pleasure and honor to reconnect with you and to see what you're doing. I am so happy. You have no idea. I'm ecstatic to be able to have this conversation with you.
Yes, I'm very excited. Val, go ahead and tell them, right? I was your counselor. This is what,
Wow.
2003?
We're talking about 2000, no.
2002?
It was around 2000, maybe 2001, around that time.
Okay.
We're going back.
Yeah. That's 2 decades.
And I remember when you came on as a summer camp counselor, we also had Joe Mackey. During that time, actually, I'm still in touch with Joe Mackey. He's in Virginia, but we connect on Facebook. So I remember feeling super confident about you, Joe Mackey. And I don't know why you two stick out, but I think I know why, because it's one of those things where when you're hiring people and you feel so confident about that hire that you don't have to even think about them, that they know exactly what the job calls for. So.
Yeah.
Very, very fond memories of you working summer camp, and the fact that kids really liked you. They really, I think you would have won. Correct me, I don't know if I'm wrong on this, but you had the call and response, make it clap. I think that was you. I don't know if that was. That was you.
Yeah, if you hear my voice, clap once, now make it clap.
That was you. Yes, I do remember that. And I just love that creativity about you, the fact you took something that the kids could connect with. And it is behavior management, but you took it on that level of like, let's have fun as I try to get your attention. So.
Hysterical. I have not thought about that since then. That is crazy. And you're right. We actually did meet in 2000, but I was in geek camp, and I believe you were in basketball camp.
Mm-hmm.
And the next year, now I'm remembering even more clear, the following year, you became a unit leader for camp, for basketball camp. And you basically put Joe and I as co-counselors. You're talking about Joe, who's really super tall, correct?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, please connect us, because that's hysterical. And then I went with Billy to one site in Flushing. I forget that site. It was with Billy and
Michelle. Probably Michelle Caban.
No, it's a guy. He's Italian. Oh my goodness. I'm so embarrassed.
I know what you're talking about, but I forgot his name. I do remember him. Yes.
Okay. I'm so sorry. If you were watching this video.
John?
Yes, John.
Oh, it is John. Yeah.
John, yeah. So John and Billy. So John was the after school director and Billy was his assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, when we did summer camp for basketball, then you took me to that site by Queens College.
Yes, 203.
Yes, 203. 203. Yeah. And then from there, I've been working with you in different sites like Teen Center.
I think you learn quickly how the job just literally calls you and moves you from one part to another part. Whatever the demand is in terms of work, you would definitely be asked to move and transfer. Yeah. That was
Yeah, thank you so much for taking me along your journey. But like, tell us how it actually started
both
with
going on a
you.
journey. You have no idea. I was like, what is this? But go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. Tell us your journey. So how did when was your first time at the Y? How did you get started with them?
Um, I actually I was working at a different Y, not the YMCA. There's the Y itself, the letter Y is used by a lot of youth organizations. So I was working for Samuel Field Y, which is a kind of Jewish based organization. That was my first experience with camp, working with children. I enjoyed the experience, but I wanted something more. So I decided to just switch. I don't know, something in me said like, it's time for a change of venue. So I got interviewed by Sylvia Sanchez, who was right under Artie, who you interviewed last week.
Yeah.
Sylvia interviewed me because one of her good friends at that time saw me and he saw something in me and he recommended me to work at Flushing. Got to the interview, worked there for the summer, stayed on, I think, for after school, and then came back, unit director, and so forth. And stayed with them, stayed with the Y for quite some years now.
Yeah.
I mean, I only left the Y. I left the Y 9 years ago, but it feels like yesterday I left the Y.
So
Yeah.
what happened after that? What are you up to, Val?
It was. I mean, when I decided to leave the Y, and I don't think I could say this. It didn't feel good the way I left the Y because, like you, almost similar to you, when you give so much to a organization, also you believe in the mission.
Yes.
And I think a lot of my colleagues have made it feels weird because a lot of us were forced to make that same decision. And I'm sure it's like that for anybody else when you been somewhere for so long. At some point, you feel like, is this the right place for you? So I think I went through that experience with the Y where I felt like it wasn't for me anymore. The direction I felt the Y was going was different than and nothing negative in terms of that. I think the Y has a lot of positives. I mean, I've actually, you might say, turned that feeling of the Y has actually changed because I think I've grown. Understand sometimes two people on the same path have different intentions and they may sway to the left or to the right, but it's still trying to be good. So leaving the Y, I started doing consulting work for an organization called Fit for Life, which is now been bought by Kids in the Game, which is not the King was Kids in the Game. Yeah, is that King or Kings? I think it's King because the acronym is Kids in the Game. So they've been bought up by that, but essentially I was just doing a lot of trainings for them, training some of their specialists to go in schools and provide dance, karate, yoga, any electives a charter school wanted to provide students, they would contract Fit for Life, and Fit for Life would provide staff. So I started doing that for a while, but then I kind of fell into it, but maintained some contacts that I made through the Y and started working for a school called Blue School, private school. And at first I just was doing some after school programming for them, which I enjoyed. And eventually as the school grew, because the school was actually very small at the time, probably 3 grades. Now it's actually from the age of 2 to all the way up to 8th grade. So it's definitely, it's grown in the last 10 years or so.
What's the spelling of the school?
So I do.
Sorry, what was the spelling of the school?
Blue School, BLUE school.
Gotcha.
School, like the color blue.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I've been working with them for a while now, and I love the experience. I love the opportunity to grow into this position and become better at it, because PE was not my focus in school. It was just, education, secondary education was my focus. But I've grown into this position and I've come to understand that this is what I love to do. And from that came the birth also of my own organization. A lot of the parents, when I left the Y, they were kind of hounding me, like, you're not leaving yet. You're not, you have to do something. And actually, it wasn't actually my idea. I'll be honest. It wasn't my idea to create an organization, start my own thing. A lot of the parents pushed me to do it, even to the point we'll help you set it up, we'll find a location. So I started a program called KYDS, KYDS. And I started that because of some of the parents that wanted me to continue to work with their children in any facet. But the program was focused on sports, and through the years, like 5 years now, almost 6.
Wow,
I've had
cool.
over 250 kids go through my program, different ages. They've aged out, a lot of them, and even now with the pandemic, I have parents emailing me like, when are we going to start up again? Which is, it's such a good feeling because you know you're providing something worthwhile. And
Yes.
my program is not big. It doesn't make doesn't make a lot of money. That's just when I do my taxes. It's not like I'm like, whoa, look at all this money. But it's just worthwhile because I feel like the goal of the program is to provide self-esteem through sports. I also focus on leadership skills, a lot of that social emotional intelligence that's so important to youth, putting them in positions to strategize and to think through problems. So we have this concept that I do also in my at my school called Big Thinker, where the kids actually have to come up with strategies. There's 2 of them. They're basically captains. You might call them team captains because some of the kids like, oh, captain, right? I'm like, all right, fine. You want to call it captain? It is like but they're in charge of the teams, and they're in charge of putting them together. They're in charge of actually figuring out positions. If it's a sports game, the goalie and who's in front, who's in back, all that. And they only rely on me if there's like some huge conflicts.
Yeah.
I try to make sure that they feel empowered to make all those decisions on their own. And luckily, a lot of them have really benefits. Some parents have told me, like, he's in school and teacher's like, wow, he's making all these decisions. There was a recess game, and Ryan came and he was organizing the kids. I'm like, where the heck you learned that from? Mom wants to give me credit. Nah, I'm like, listen, he had it in him. Maybe I helped him a little bit, but it was already there. So that's where I'm at now. Still doing both. And I also do things on the side. I also coach basketball, which I love. I've actually grown to love coaching and being an instructor.
Those are my memories of you and basketball. Basketball. I was telling you earlier, basketball was in your car, in your trunk. Yeah, that was you and basketball.
Still is. I still have about 2 of them in my car.
That's awesome. And you're sporting your shirt, right? You want to show them?
This is a logo.
Nice.
So it's basically, the whole idea was I was working with different names, and kids was something I came up with where it's like kids youth development through sports. And the logo, I have to have the New York because there's actually a kids clothing line that's trademarked. So I had to make sure that it's different. So I had to make sure it's considered, it's a New York based company. And the letters are symbolic of the sports, where the texture of each letter, from volleyball, baseball, soccer, and basketball, each letter has that kind of like the surface of those particular sports. And I figured that was a nice way of describing the program, that I could focus. And actually, within the program, that's what we do. We rotate. So I've done tennis, I've done floor basketball, I've done volleyball. And there's skill development, but the main thing, there's obviously there has to be skill development, but the main thing is the opportunity for the kids to socialize and develop the social moral intelligence through interacting and through cooperation and through the games. A lot of the games are built on needing each other. You have to depend on somebody. Even from the very beginning, they have to partner up with somebody and warm up together. So all that was built into the program so that from the very beginning, they are getting more than just skills. They're getting, hopefully, life skills.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because not that none, but majority of the Department of Education is not rooted to teach children how to think. So I love that you help them strategize, right? Like it's kind of like the whole Apollo 13. Here's a mission. You got to get somewhere. Here's all your tools. Figure it out.
It's almost
do it, right? And it's just great that you're doing that, because that's not as encouraged. and the whole, and I don't know if you know, like if you've seen this, not that you're in the school, but the training that we got at the Y way
Mhm.
back in 2000 with the whole emotional part of children and how that important is
Developing whole child.
yeah, now all of a sudden people are like, do you know this concept of the whole child? I was like, yes.
Yeah. And I give the Y credit because I feel like
Yes.
I did not receive that level of training before I went to the Y. So I
Mhm.
give the Y credit for being ahead in
Yeah.
terms of that
Yeah.
field and that understanding, and not just throwing the basketball out onto a court and saying, go dribble
Yeah.
the ball. And that's what you call, youth programming. The
Yeah.
Y definitely was ahead.
They are. Yeah. And then it's yeah, that's why the Y is still very dear to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned how to swim at the Y in Peru. Like, hi. I was in Peru. I learned English at the Y and how to swim. So there are so many things, so much connections. I know I was very bitter
Mm-hmm.
with the Y, but until I realized that I was the one who lacked putting boundaries in my life. So I
Mm-hmm.
was blaming the Y and I was blaming nonprofits for making me wear different hats when I had the choice of say no.
Mm-hmm.
And I know my husband's really good at saying, if he's given a lot of projects, he's like, I could do it, but which one of these projects do you want it to fail? And it's like, I wish I would have used that back then. Like it's so true, right? And I'm like, wow.
Which one? Yeah.
Yeah. Which one
Which
do you want
one?
me to drop?
Yeah. Which one? Which one's gonna probably kill me, and I won't be able to succeed? Yeah. That's
Yeah.
like
I
that.
mean, yeah. So he's really good at, like setting that boundary, like his upbringing with his parents, like with my parents, it's like we work hard, we get in there, we go up the ladder, we're like
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
that's really cool what you're doing, and really focusing on the whole child, because it's not just sports, it's way more than that. And when you were saying how to work together, even just new concept of like synergizing with
Mm-hmm.
somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's we're bigger than just the individual, right? We have a bigger mission.
The founder and owner, him and I have an amazing relationship. I'll give him a shout out. The company is called First Shot Basketball. It's run by Joel. But he started it years ago. I mean, he's just, I mean, he talk about someone you need to interview. I would definitely recommend. His mission in life is to make kids happy. If I could keep it as simple
Mm,
as that. And he's older now, but this is his second, you might say, career. He started his company because his son was playing sports. I think it was baseball, if I'm correct. And oh no, basketball. Sorry, it might have been basketball because his son wasn't playing. His son wasn't getting any opportunity to
mm,
be on the court.
mhm.
So he asked the coach, and the coach response was, and this story. I mean, that's why I remember it because he told me a story so many.
Stories are powerful. Yes,
Yeah,
do
but
share.
yeah, they're so powerful. But I think it's just one of the things that's motivated him to create this
Mm,
company, almost with his ideal. But the coach responded with, yeah, yeah, your son's okay, but don't you want to win? Don't you want the team to win? He's
mm,
like, well, I want my son to also play and get the experience. And that was the birth of First Shot. So he created a program where it's right now strictly instructional, but small class. I mean, small in terms of it's about 20, but the ratios are 1 to 4 for every for maybe 5 kids, sometimes 4 to 5 kids. We have one coach. So we break the class into 4 different groups and
mhm.
we work really hands-on. We're about making the kids feel good about themselves from the very big. And this is a program not for the kids who are already playing like on 4 different teams and traveling.
Got it.
Because no, that's a different population. This is for the kids that don't have never played. They're maybe 8, 9 years old, never touched a basketball, but want to learn the game, want to learn in a comfortable setting, and can take some skills that they've learned and play in the playground and show off and grow and actually become better at the game, but in the environment where people are trying to motivate them and are super excited when they make their first layup. Like, I mean, parents like probably gets shocked how crazy I get when I see a kid. Because to me, if I see a kid who's struggling week 1 and week 5 make their first shot, I can't, I can't hide that emotion. I can't hide that.
Yes.
It does something to me. It's like almost like a trigger, and I get so excited. But that program is dear to my heart because I've not only grown to love coaching basketball, but it was an opportunity to like get away from the desk
Yes.
and be able to just be hands-on, literally hands-on, and do something I
Yeah.
enjoy. So
I love
first
it.
shot basketball. So a little shout out to Joe.
I will. I'll put it definitely in
Yeah,
here. That's for sure.
yeah. He has a Facebook. You could tag him, and like I said, if you talk to him, you would. He's an amazing person. I wish there was like a citizens award for him, but
Aw.
what he's
Yeah.
done, like he's very like nonchalant. He's not about getting praise or anything like that. What he's done
Sure.
and the number of kids, I mean, I only have seen 250. He's probably seen about 5,000 kids and maybe 10,000 kids.
Mm.
And what he's done for those kids, it's been remarkable. A lot of them, I would say, were just had a different feeling about basketball. And after that, they experienced first shot. Even if they never play basketball again, they just were that much more confident about learning something new.
Yeah.
So definitely
Oh.
the program.
I love how you're speaking about him. Is he like one of your mentors? Like
Oh yeah,
who?
I mean he's like my father figure because I mean I've been
Aw.
at a close relationship with my father, but when I think about it, like the people that have actually relied on and talked to, Artie and Tina and Joel, like I've been blessed with some amazing people. Even Amy, I was mispronounced her last name. She used to run the program called New York Sports Social Club, and these individuals are just. I've been lucky. I've been able to meet people that are not only successful in their own right and not financially successful, but being able to find something they enjoy and watching these individuals work has been inspiring to see them do what they enjoy, because then it gives you
Yes.
ideas and then be able to get you kind of like to understand what you could do in your own life. So yeah, you're always definitely more than that. Yeah.
I love that. And that leads me to like my last two things that I love to put light on when I have youth developers is that what do you do for fun? How do you decompress? Like, so when you're not working, what's Val doing?
as my family tries to like butt in and get their own input, but I do like I actually have recently got back into playing video games, which probably not the best thing to play, but I do enjoy spending time at home. Which the pandemic, I think, you might say on the brighter side of things, that it's allowed me to spend a lot more time with family, which has been amazing to be able to do that, spend time with family.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that. I think that has been, and as you describe your experience and being 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. when you're talking, it was giving me flashbacks how mentally straining it was, and I couldn't find time to be myself, to be with anyone. Relationships were difficult at that time because you're devoting so much to your job that you were leaving everything out. You were leaving yourself out.
Yeah.
But finding that again, find the opportunity to be at home, be with family, do things with the family, that is super enjoyable. I recommend to anyone that in terms of if you are working, you have long hours, family dinners, even a family dinner once a week is amazing, like therapeutic. It does something to your body and your mind. So That is
Yes.
my escape from everything.
Yeah, I
But
love that you made it like so attainable in a sense. Once a week, just one. At least you could narrow it down to just once.
this is why I say to parents, because I don't know, you probably have had this happen to you. I've had so many parents, especially when I worked at the Y, call me trying to figure out what to do with their teen. Like he or
Mm-hmm.
she is like, they're not listening to me, and I don't know what to do. I don't talk to them. And I've had so many conversations with parents, and one of the things I always recommend is trying to find opportunities to be a family, find time to be with them. They won't talk to me, but you're still present. Because the worst thing
Mm.
a young person will, the worst thing that can happen to a young person, in my opinion, is not feeling that it could go to their parents. They can't go back. They can't go back home. Home being able to
Mm.
talk to their parents, because they'll make decisions that probably they would regret. But
Yeah.
if they can't get back, if they can't go back to you, that is that's scary to me. So that's one thing I've always advised: leave the door open, even if they don't talk to you. But at least you're sitting at the dinner table and you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to have a conversation with them. So the door's partially open. It's gonna be up to them to open it. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, that
I
is.
love it. Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm 100% with you when it comes to that. Like you said, just like be present or for them to open the door, right? That's so key. Yeah, I know. I was invited one day to a Jewish family on the Sabbath. They every Friday they meet together.
Shalom.
And yeah, and this principal, his daughters are in college and they still come home on Friday. How cool is that? How
Mhm.
cool. Four daughters.
Amazing.
Four.
Amazing.
Four
Amazing.
daughters who still make that trip back to have that
Mhm.
meal with their family. And they're an amazing family. That
And
is so
yeah,
cool.
actually, I still work with a large Jewish community to this day. Every summer, I work for a camp, a Jewish camp.
Really?
I'm probably the only non-Jewish person there. And but I love it. I love being enveloped in a different culture. I love that feeling of
Mhm.
like, literally people around me, they speak a different language, because I think it forces me to learn and adapt and have an
Yeah.
appreciation for that culture. And I have, like, that's why I know some Jewish words, and I could, um,
Cool.
but it's an amazing feeling to be part of a different culture and to be welcomed by a different culture. And I still keep in contact with them. I worked with them a little bit this summer, and it was fun. It was actually my first time doing program for like 4 months, because we didn't have anything. So that was,
Right.
that was so much fun to have kids around me, like doing things. Like finally, I get like yes,
Yes.
yes.
My last question, and just like
Mm.
the last question I love asking people to is what's like what would you say will be like your overall philosophy? Like what's gonna go in your tune? What sentence would it be right there?
How much time we have?
Just a few minutes.
um, that's a that's an amazing question.
Hmm.
My God, like, and especially with the times we're living in, with so much uncertainty and people feeling anxious. I feel anxious about where we are as a nation, as a people, and um, for me, I feel like I would say I tried my best,
Hmm.
and then almost dot dot dot. Try my best. Well, I tried to be the best older brother I could be, the best teacher I could be, the best father I could be, and I still don't feel like it's enough. I feel like there's so much more I would love to. I would love to start a mentoring program. I was talking to my girlfriend about this. Like, my dream is to start a mentoring program in the neighborhoods that desperately need it, because I feel like the people that they look up to
Mhm.
are probably not the best examples. There's other things, like my thing right now. I feel like I'm the grandpa, get off my lawn, because I just had a discussion recently with one of my former students, and not through the Y, but actually, well, through the Y, but then came to my program about Cardi B and her new song, and
Hmm.
my thing is trying to also. I feel like this should be, as much as Cardi B is highlighted, and the music is highlighted. I would love someone else to be highlighted. I would love to see a doctor that just discovered something, get as much attention. You know, the way kids are playing her Cardi B song, playing this doctor's like, the audio thesis, or, like, the chromosomes are part of, like let's highlight that. Let's bring that much, let's bring attention to that. So I would love to start a mentoring program that would be able to partner young people with these amazing, successful individuals. So these young people can look up these individuals and say, yes, I could flex my clothes, as they use. I know the word is, it's probably different now, but
Yeah, right.
no one
We're a
used
little
to.
outdated.
Yeah, they probably change it to something else like floss. But I could flex clothes, I could flex money, but I could also flex other things. I could flex my certificates, I could flex, in my investments, my home ownership. It just, it feels like we could do more. It's like I feel like I could do more. So yes, I try, but I think dot dot dot. But I feel like I could have done more. And I have this need to always do more and be more.
And I'm remembering as you're sharing about I try my best, dot dot dot, wanting to start this mentoring program. That's actually how I see you, and I see two words: big brother. I do, and I know boys and girls clubs is already taken, but there's something like, oh look, I'm getting goosebumps. You have been a big brother, not just like to your participants, but even like in your colleagues and your friendships. I'm not sure if are you older than me? How old are you, Val?
Oh my God, are we gonna edit this part out? Unfortunately, I am 42 now, so I am
You're
just a little.
you're younger than me then.
I
Get
am
out of
younger than
here.
you.
Yes.
I can't. I'm a little surprised. I actually thought I
I
was.
I tell my husband, people call me youthful because I was pretty immature.
That's funny.
I've grown. Yeah, that's part of. Yeah, I'm actually 43. Wait, Siri, how old am I?
You're 43, but you don't look a day over 29.
Yes.
I didn't know. That's hysterical. First, I didn't know Siri would be able to answer that question, but
Siri's my
you look
bestie.
amazing. You look amazing for 43.
Thank you. Siri is my bestie. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but I do have a lot of white hairs, like big time, big time.
Wow, that shows wisdom.
Yeah, right? Thank you.
Let's just go with that.
But back to what I was saying, you have been, because you were my supervisor, I did see you as a big brother, even though you're younger. Right now, we're finding out. I really thought you were older than me.
Me too, actually.
Yeah, right. So, but because that was the relationship, right? It's you really took care of me. So again, you were not just a big brother to the participants, but to your people, right? And and I want to. You're the. I might title this interview "Big Brother." Well, let's do it.
I thank you for that. It's really rewarding to hear people say that. And I hate talking about myself like that. I feel like I said, I'm still trying. But one thing I always felt like I always wanted people to feel, even when I was struggling to learn how to be a good supervisor, to make people feel like no matter what, I am 100% behind you. As my friend Javi used to say, so I'm taking this from him. I am your volunteer. I am your assistant. As opposed to, yes, the role is I'm your supervisor, but I always felt like, it's not about me telling you what to do. It's about me helping you, so you could be at your best and not just be staying there saying, oh, do this, do that. I need you. Well, how can I make you succeed? So I'm always trying, and I still think I need to work at it because I've heard good and bad. I heard I could be kind of tough with people, but it's something you try to reflect, and hopefully you did good at it. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. Just like Artie said, and I kind of put that as a title, like change is everlasting and growing. We're lifelong learners, and thanks for creating that environment. Thanks for being an example for me as I continue, and as I had embarked my YMCA career. To now, we're both wearing our shirts from our own companies. It's so cool.
Isn't that fascinating? That says a lot.
That's so cool.
That we're both now sitting, across from the camera lens, and we're both repping our work and what we're doing outside the Y.
Yes. All right, well, thank you so much for visiting us, for sharing your story.
Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, I love it. Thank you. Take care. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Awesome. Bye.
And we're live in 5, 4.
Hello, this is Y Superstars. If you want to see a change, be the change you wish to see in your children.
Yes.
Any other messages you'd like to tell us?
Yes.
That is all for today. Thank you.